Welcome into this Monday morning edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase, Parham and Neal McCready, Clark Ford studio this morning. We will talk a couple, at least one football hire is official. We think another one's basically official as well, and might be a while for some others. So we'll talk about that today. Ole Miss beat Middle Tennessee in basketball on Saturday. That was to be expected. The Blue Raiders are terrible at this point in their program, so that was,
they're not particularly good.
Not particularly good.
That's not a terrible thing to say 9 days before Christmas to refer to a collection of young men as terrible. They tried
their
hard.
Basketball acumen is not as high as it has been in previous seasons.
They tried very hard. Have some spirit.
The university there in Murfreesboro, their intercollegiate basketball program is just not at the same quality that it has been in the past. That is an accurate statement without demeaning the young men.
It's better. That's much better.
So we'll do 58 minutes of that today and whatever else strikes our fancy. Podcast brought to you every day by the Oxford Exxon Highway 6 West in Oxford. You go get lunch specials, ribs, daiquiris. You know all the drill by now. You also know that use your basketball ticket from any game at the Oxford Crystal. It's $150 off a sack full or a steamer pack there with the Oxford Crystal next door to the Oxford Exxon. Coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is that number for you to call. You call that number and you ask for one Corey Clark. You tell Mr. Clark what Ford product you're interested in. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's that simple. It is right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. Here's the deal. Corey wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. He will prove that to you when you make the phone call. He will. He'll prove it to you. He'll start right there. And if you end up like me and you become a Clark Ford customer, you will feel that sentiment throughout your relationship with the people at Clark Ford. They're really great at what they do. They go the extra mile. The products are great. The service is even better. So 662-257-1900.
I forgot to post this on the message board, so I probably should do that real quick.
Okay.
That would be a positive. While we're doing that, couple events coming up for you guys. Hope you can join us. The first one is Friday night at the Westin in Jackson. We will be there with a live show of some sort for you. Kermit Davis, I think, is joining us. Maybe Ansu Cisse as well. We'll try to get that locked down today and let you know. But either way, they're doing Ole Miss basketball, or Ole Miss, the Alumni Association, whatever you want to call it, doing a cocktail hour with Kermit Davis from 5 to 6 p.m. We are trying to entertain the masses at some point during that. I highly doubt we go on right there at 5, but come hang out, get you a cocktail or two. Probably 5:30 or so would be my guess as far as
is that right?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I think it's sort of a just as it happens deal, little organic, but sometime around 5:30 is the deal there for that one. So come hang out. I hear we might have a couple giveaways for you in attendance as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, apparently. Are you behind here?
Man,
you had a lot going on?
You know me, man. Kind of lazy.
You rampaging today?
I'm rampaging. I'm about to rampage. Whee!
So that's the first one. Come to Jackson. If you're in Jackson, just head on over. Right there, December 20th. You know, Ole Miss plays basketball the next day against South Station, Louisiana at 2 o'clock. So
the Lions.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of the Lions. Had Lions in football. Now having the Lions in basketball. I don't know. Might even have the Lions in baseball. I have no clue. Anyway, so that's the first one. And then December 29th for everybody. And we are working on some T-shirts to that variety. Give me a little time. We had a little bit of a hiccup in that, but we're getting there. So I'm talking on the live stream here a little bit. Ask about 4% T-shirts. And then
I see Avery asked about 4% T-shirts.
And then December 29th for people in Oxford at Southern Craft around 6 o'clock. Kind of a pre-New Year's party. Kind of a thank you to you guys for everything you've done for us. There's
a basketball game that day at 3. I think they play Tennessee Tech. Those it's a PTSD for some people. So if you need a drink after that, come to Southern Craft Stove and Tap, 6 to 9 p.m., December 29th. They'll have a full menu, $1 off Wells, $1 off draft beer, $1 off draft wine as well. We'll be there and hanging out and having a good time. And
it's not a live show. We're just chilling.
Yeah, no show. You
can get autographs with Neal. You can get pictures. You can get autographed pictures if you would, if you would like. Either way, He'll sign all the Cardinals paraphernalia that you would wish. I don't know what kind of thing he's going to say on it, but he will sign it.
Yeah.
And more. How's the Cubs free agent market going?
Come on, man.
It's not good this morning.
They have no money.
Too early for that.
They have no money.
8:09 a.m.
How the hell do the Cubs have no money? They own everything around Wrigley, and it's all.
You all right?
Yeah. The whole trading Chris Bryant thing. I'm like braced for it.
So
and I'm just sick about it.
All right, several directions here. Did you see it this morning, or did you get like text or what? What? Paint me a picture. What?
See what?
Okay, yeah, sure.
No, I got up, poured Laura a cup of coffee, poured myself a cup of coffee, and opened the site, and I had several messages from subscribers that were saying, "Hey, I thought you should be aware of this." At which point I read it, and I said I probably should respond. So this is how we're going to start Monday. Yeah, your shirt's not a Spurs shirt. Your shirt, although it looks very stunningly similar to mine.
I didn't realize we were going to wear chicken paraphernalia today, but sure.
Your shirt's a golf club, right?
It was the PGA event in Jackson, the Sanderson Farms.
Gotcha. Yeah, mine is Tottenham Hotspur. I saw it. I responded to it. I mean, feel free to ask questions. I'll answer them. I'm on a rampage. Be careful. I mean, the truth is, I don't.
Do what?
I've been on this beat now for
We're
almost.
so cocky this morning. That's good. Go ahead.
I've been on this beat for 12 years now. It's been the same kind of thing for 12 years. It's all good.
I kind of laugh because it's almost like some version of professional wrestling at this point. Like everything's pretty cool and calm down for a while. Then we have a pay-per-view, and then it pops for a little bit, and then it sort of calms down for a little while, and then it does whatever. And it's the stuff that I can't figure out if fans like heard everything from the back and forth from sites and different stuff over the years. If you would be like entertained and glued and like reading a book, or you look at it and go, "What in the hell is up with the soap opera and the drama with you guys?" Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't decide if it would be completely stupid and off-putting, or people would be actually locked into this and give a crap. I don't know. It's good. It's a good question. I mean, and no, nobody's writing a book on it. Forget it. But
no.
It's not interesting enough for a book.
It's not interesting enough for me to write a book to entertain myself. I was kind of surprised by it because allow me to take you through my day yesterday, okay?
I'm sure, whatever.
Seriously, I'm going to take you through my day so you can see just what a rampage looks like.
Okay.
So I got up at about 6:30. I knew that the players that were visiting were leaving. It was my understanding, and I never asked anybody. You know, my coach, my junior varsity football coach, Donnie Bartlett.
I know where you're going on this.
Always told us, I'll never forget it. We were on our way back. We had gone to Ouachita and beaten Ouachita Parish High School. And he was telling us something about practice the next day and don't assume, because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah. Every high school football coach in history has used that phrase.
I can't speak to every high school football coach, but I can speak to the great Donnie Bartlett, and he did. And yesterday, I assumed, based on the week that we had, that they would not want reporters. And there's no other word to use. You've been out there and done it before, too.
Look, we'll get to a little bit of actual news. There's not a lot. We're filling time right now, guys. We're just telling some stories. So yeah, you're not necessarily missing anything, but we might be entertaining. So
yeah. There's not a lot. We're gonna get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to that.
Promise.
We got time. We're gonna be here in a minute.
Hang in there, Leif. We're gonna make this worth your while. I assumed, based on what happened, that they would not want us out there stalking the players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I assumed that. I never asked anybody, hey, are y'all going to run reporters off? What are you going to do? I didn't ask. So I assumed, and that made an ass out of you and me. What I did do was I went with Laura. Caroline has been in the Deborah Kay School of Dance here in Oxford.
Long time.
For as long as we have lived here.
Yeah, I think so.
And we had the Christmas party at our house. Not just for Caroline's group, for the whole dance company. That dance company starts with little girls, 5, 6 years old, and goes all the way up through high school seniors. Laura was not stressed out, but she was pretty locked in on getting everything ready. And I told her I'd help. And I did. We drove up to Memphis. We got some stuff. We came back. I had to work on 10 Thoughts. I had to make a few phone calls to find out some information about the recruiting weekend. I made a few calls to different people because that's what I do. I actually have some different people that I can kind of get stuff from and piece some things together. And I put up some recruiting chicks at, 1-ish o'clock yesterday, put up some stuff. It became obvious that the other site, to their credit, had gone out there and had gotten quotes and things, and so we were behind a little bit, and that's okay. It happens. 12 years, you're not going to always be ahead. You're not going to always be behind. You're gonna cycle. And did that. Then I worked on 10 Thoughts while I watched the end of the Bears-Packers game. I cleaned the patio for her. I blew off the driveway for her. I got some stuff done for her. And then at 5:30, I had basically finished 10 Thoughts. I took Carson, and he and I went to Blind Pig, and we played pool and ate dinner until about 7:15. I came back here at the end of the party. I helped clean up. Swept, vacuumed, and mopped the downstairs floors.
Okay.
Laura was exhausted. She went to bed. I poured a beer, and I watched Food Network till about 9:45, 9:50.
It's a real happening day.
I took a shower, looked at my phone for a few minutes until my eyes got tired, and went to sleep probably about 10:15. So that is what a rampage looks like. And if that's the case, I've had a lot of rampages over the years without knowing I was rampaging.
And people ask, look, I think you and I were discussing this off air right before we hit the button and all that expansive pre-show stuff we do. Until there's announcement on coaches, nothing's been decided. This thing is going to linger on a little bit. And my point with this is that I don't know what Derek Nix's status is with the program right now. I have no clue. It appears that he took off a bunch of Ole Miss stuff off his Twitter profile. Does that mean anything? I have no idea. I mean, typically that's a sign, but I don't know. So as of 8:17 this morning, I have no idea what his employment status is with the University of Mississippi.
I had multiple people yesterday send me stuff asking about Derek Nix, and my response was, I don't know. I will say again what I've said here. I've written on the site. I've been told this. Unless there is an official announcement, nothing's done.
Do you consider Randy Clements done at this point?
I think so. Yes. Clements is done. I expect some sort of an announcement on that really soon. I think if you made me guess on hang-ups and stuff, is that they're still ironing out who's going to play what role on the offensive staff.
Because you have so much flexibility, as we've said, with Lane calling plays and basically being his own quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can kind of do whatever the heck you want to.
So it lets you shuffle. And I continue to say that while I think Mike McIntyre has a real chance to be the long-term defensive coordinator, I don't necessarily believe, and you've seen the same text I have, I don't necessarily believe that is locked in stone, done, completely set. I don't.
No, there are still some moving parts going on, it appears.
It appears on
at least as of that time.
Especially on the defensive side, it appears that perhaps all of the parts are moving.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of Monty Kiffin will be a defensive analyst.
Okay.
That appears to be set somewhat in stone.
I feel good about that one. Yeah.
And to hear Lane from a previous interview asked what that role is, that means that he's going to go tell stories to the GAs. Monty's in his 80s. Monty's not
He's not going to be breaking down film for 47 hours a
I
week.
think he'll watch some film, but I don't think Monty's going to be burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just come on.
He's a great resource to have around the building if you had a question.
Of course.
No doubt. He's one of the best defensive minds in football history.
Of course. And it's cool, if a kid comes in and his dad's a big NFL fan or something.
Hey, here's Monty Kiffin.
Hey, here's Monty Kiffin. Oh, that's pretty neat.
Tampa 2. Here we go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But in terms of the defensive staff, I just don't think it's set. And I don't think all of the offensive staff is set. I just don't. And I don't, to my knowledge, I have no way of knowing, admitting what you just said, which is that it may have been done yesterday. I don't know. I have no way to tell you right now whether Derek Nix is or is not on that staff. And contrary to what was accused of me today, I don't have an agenda as it pertains to Derek Nix. If I had an agenda as it pertains to Derek Nix, I think given how much I write and how much we talk right here, over the course of 11 plus years, that agenda would be pretty revealed. I don't know him. I've never had anything resembling a crossword with him. Nothing.
The one thing we know for sure, because he changed all of his Twitter stuff, and it's pretty obvious at this point. Blake Gideon is the special teams coordinator at Ole Miss. He comes from Houston.
Yes.
It's his first ever Power 5 assistant job as far as an on-field full-time staff. His resume, though, does have some SEC flair to it a little bit. He was a defensive quality control guy at Florida in 2014. He was a GA at Auburn in 15. He was the defensive backs coach at Auburn in 16. I missed that one. Or in 15 as well. South Carolina is something in 16, and then he was at Western Carolina, Georgia State, and then he spent 2019 as the safeties coach and the special teams coordinator at the University of Houston. Played at Texas from 2008 to 2011, and then at least got some semblance of a cup of coffee or more, I'm not sure, with the Cardinals and the Broncos in the NFL in 12 and 13. He is 30 years old.
He is highly thought of.
Yeah,
is
a coaching person, and frankly, as a recruiter. That's what's interesting about this. I mean, Jeff Lebby was at Baylor.
Yeah.
Clements has been at Baylor, who we believe to be the offensive line coach at this
Clements
point.
was, per a source who would absolutely know, not affiliated with Ole Miss, by the way. Clements was in Oxford over the weekend wearing Ole Miss gear.
Not just interviewing.
Talking to recruits.
He had
and their
the
parents.
flu, which kept him out of Florida State Bowl practice earlier in the week.
Yes.
So we think my point being, he has Baylor ties. He was with Art Briles, I think, from 2008 to 2016, if I have that correctly, prior to going wherever he went after that.
Maybe so.
Before Florida State. My point being, there's a lot of Texas flair already kind of emerging on the staff. Obviously, if something did pop with some other offensive guys or whatnot. But, Ole Miss has been, during its successful recruiting tenures, done a pretty good job in Texas. Got some name recognition in Texas. Greg Little, DeMarcus Lodge, Quincy Adebojo. They're guys they've gotten over there. So that looks like that's probably a pipeline that could be a benefit for the Rebels moving forward with Gideon.
Yeah, it appears clear they're going to focus on recruiting Texas, Louisiana. I'm curious to see the rest of the defensive staff. I think it's becoming obvious that he is going to wait for the end of the NFL season, which I think is December the 29th. Is that correct? That's the last regular season game. Most teams have played 14 games.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that would be right. Yeah.
So he's going to wait for that season to end. It's very obvious he wants to talk to Bo Davis. He's not alone, by the way. There will be competition for Bo Davis. I was told middle of last week, the days run together, I was told that Ole Miss had real momentum there. I know he wants to talk to – I can't. Let me rephrase. I believe, based on what I've heard, that he wants to talk to Tosh Lapoy, who is also employed by an NFL team right now.
Mm-hmm.
So my anticipation is that with signing day Wednesday, the dead period is now – the quiet period is kicked in. It will go from December 16th to January the 16th. I think it is
that long.
I think so. Don't hold me to the end,
because it always has like the convention in there and some of that stuff anyway.
But it's a quiet period, meaning no face-to-face contact. So they have some time.
You can phone call, but that's it.
Yeah, they have some time to iron this out. And if you told me that it's January the 8th, 9th, somewhere in there before his staff is complete, I'd completely buy it. Because coaches can't go on the road and see kids right now.
Yeah.
So you have time.
We'll continue that conversation in 1 second. First, about Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. You're getting local underwriting. Understands your market. Leader in condo financing, the float down option, and with rates as low as they've been in about 2 years. Good time to talk to Jason. That's 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
Guests will join us this week on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters is sports, music, drink, and food, known for its great food, New Orleans-style po' boys, handcrafted burgers, all with the Cajun flair. It offers the best sports viewing in Oxford, 14 large flat screens plus a 17-foot big screen on the Rafters stage, 3 full bars, including an outside patio bar. They're closed now for the Christmas holiday. Rafters will reopen on New Year's Eve at 5 p.m., $3 champagne all night. Also be open on New Year's Day. Be a great place to watch the Sugar Bowl, the Rose Bowl, some of the big bowl games there at Rafters on the Square in Oxford. Don't just accept what you see, but imagine seeing something new. Step forward and chase after a better version of yourself every day. Corinth Dental in Corinth, Mississippi, helping people reinvent themselves one smile at a time. Dr. Bubba McQueen and Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures, including Invisalign. These clear aligners are the virtually invisible way to improve your smile. So call Corinth Dental today for a no-cost digital scan of your teeth and let them show you the way to a straighter, healthier smile with Invisalign. It's corinthdental.com. I've got the information here. I failed to transfer it from one document to another. I'll do that here today because I just realized that I failed to do it. Laziness. There's some financing plans available for you that you can ask about there at Corinth Dental. If you need a gift idea for your kids this holiday season, the Oxford Park Commission recommends signing up for the 2020 spring soccer season. If you played with the team in the fall, you can rejoin them for just $25. The cost for new registration is just $50. Leagues are open for ages 5 to 15. The deadline to sign up is December the 22nd. For more information, visit oxfordparkcommission.com. We're also brought to you by Splinter Creek. It's a gated conservation community. It's located 8 miles southwest of Oxford, 75 minutes from the Memphis airport. SplinterCreekMS.com is the website. Give them a call, 601-898-2772 to schedule a tour with Tom Smith Land and Home Agents today. 34 lakefront homes ranging in size from 2 to 25 acres, 650 acres of absolutely gorgeous lakes, pine, hardwood forest, 6 miles of private roads, well-maintained running, cycling, and hiking trails. There's a preserve for turkey and deer, a flyway for birds. It's home to bald eagles. It's just an absolutely beautiful property. You owe it to yourself if you're thinking about moving to Oxford, retiring in Oxford, to check it out. SplinterCreekMS.com.
See on the message board that the second trailer for Top Gun 2 has been released this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So you get that. Again, that movie is giving us, I think, I haven't watched the second trailer yet, but judging by the first trailer and everything we heard, it's giving us exactly what we want. It's just nostalgia. It's the same stuff. Don't overthink it. Just give us more of it, as much as you like, and we'll move on with our day. That's the goal of that movie. Do not try to be some critical masterpiece and change the formula.
Just entertain me.
80s popcorn flick.
Yeah.
Be an 80s popcorn flick.
Entertain me for 2 hours. Give me a little nostalgia.
Good.
Let me feel younger for just a couple hours.
Let it good. Have a good ending. Don't let me leave the theater all pissed off.
No, everybody.
Let's not tailspin across the Pacific.
Nope. Everybody leaves happy and healthy, madly in love.
Neil hates movies with bad endings. He hates them.
Well, just tell me ahead of time it's going to be a terrible ending.
And you won't watch it, though.
And then I can decide whether I want to watch it or not.
You won't watch it.
Probably not. I want to know that everybody's at peace.
Humanitarian.
I mean, I'm a peaceful rampager. That's my new wrestling name. I guess my wrestling name now is the Rampager, right? That's what I'll be.
Grind hard asking on the live chat, what's Top Gun? Look, I know you're an Auburn fan, but if you don't have an answer to that, we might have to kick you out. I'm sorry.
How old are you, Grind? I'm curious.
This movie is 30 years old.
I know. He might be in his 20s. Man, I do this with Campbell all the time.
God.
With Campbell, I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of whatever? And she's like, no.
Hasn't heard of it.
No, all sorts of stuff. That big part of like, he's 24. Yeah, no. Chase, you need to apologize to Grindhard.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this thing came out in 1986. It's 33 years old.
Yeah, because it was the song "Danger Zone" was our theme song my senior year of high school for football. It was
$15 million budget.
It made it more than paid for itself.
$356 million.
It's like Nick Saban at Alabama,
just rolling.
Yep.
In the cash. Start Monday, so it's been one full business week now at this point. So everything went down. What's kind of your thoughts on Kiffin's first week in office?
Like an A+.
By doing what? No, seriously though. By doing what? I'm not really baiting you. I'm just
breathing. I'll tell you this. I wrote this in 10 Thoughts. It's presented by Harry Alexander. Go to his site, harryalexander.com. Harry just switched a little bit, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of reader until he sends me some stuff. But
oh, yeah, I saw that.
Harry's a fantastic guy. If you are in the condo or home market in Oxford, you should go to Harry. I was at the game Saturday.
Basketball.
Yeah. So here's some full disclosure, okay? I spent the first half of the basketball game in the media room helping Campbell study for her government final.
Did you?
Okay. So I went out at halftime, and Ole Miss was ahead.
By a good bit.
Yeah, comfortably. And I noticed there was like a buzz in the building. And frankly, it's not what I expected. I've covered the Saturday Christmas vacation deal that Ole Miss does. And it's usually funny, but it's usually kind of sleepy.
December in Oxford basketball is sleepy.
And, you know, they'll bring Santa Claus out. All the little kids run over to Santa at halftime, and they read a book. And that's really about the only noise, and then all the families with the kids leave. That's been the past there. This time it was different. There was a buzz in the building, and I'd been told Kiffin was probably not coming over that day. And when they introduced Lane Kiffin with 11 minutes and 50 whatever seconds left, were you there?
No.
The place went nutty. Just nutty. In a good way. He's a rock star. People are so excited that it created a buzz that went through that building for the remainder of that game. People were entertained by Breein Tyree having a fantastic offensive game.
He had 30-something.
And by this new head football coach who comes in. We asked Breein afterwards, did you know Lane Kiffin? No, I just saw him. I was like, oh, man, there's Lane Kiffin. I'm going to go over to him. Yeah, Breein went over and they hugged.
I saw the picture.
Yeah. Because we asked him, did you know him? Because I kind of assumed maybe he'd already met him or something. But nope. There is this aura about him that I think has...
It's coming full circle, though. Like the 24-year-old that doesn't know who Top Gun is. I mean, in football years, Lane Kiffin hasn't been a prominent head coach in more than half a decade. For most college football players or recruits, I don't know who that guy is. It has been too long. But there is some sort of staying power that's really interesting with Lane Kiffin where they go, whoa, no, hey, it's Lane Kiffin.
But he's got people excited. He's made some hard recruiting decisions. He's pulled at least 3 players that I can think, 4 players out of either the transfer portal or as close. Look, Matt Corral was standing on the precipice.
Teetering off the cliff into the portal.
Yeah. You know, like when the little kid's at the place, the water park, and he's about to go down the slide with the tunnel.
Yeah.
And they're a little hesitant to jump in because it's dark in there. That's where Corral was. He was going to go sliding down the transfer portal, and now he's not. And
Gregory back out, Battle back out.
Just a totally different feel of the place. The coaches that he's hiring, very clearly very good coaches with recruiting acumen and resumes. So, yeah, he's been on the job 8 days. It feels like 28 days, but it's 8 days, and people are super excited about him. And so you have to give him a resounding A. He's gotten in on some big-time recruits. His Twitter game is masterful because it's funny. His Twitter game is funny.
Yeah, if you take offense to any of it, that's on you.
Yeah. It's funny. Like
apparently he retweeted a tweet today to win a free pair of iPods.
Yeah.
I mean AirPods.
Yeah, he could afford them, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was just like whatever.
He had the thing with the fish, the slippery fish that got away, and you're like, okay, does that mean that you
lost somebody?
And it's so
or he
funny.
Lost
yeah, because it's like, and it could easily be him just saw something about that when he was searching for another GIF.
And liked it.
And said, I'm going to screw around with some people. At which point, I think that's really funny. And like I told somebody yesterday, we were talking about it, and I tell you, it was Hogan. So Hogan Gidley called. We were talking about it. And if what people are saying is true, that Lane Kiffin is a high ceiling, low floor guy, let's just say that's true.
Okay.
The ceiling's high. You're already really close to the low floor. The fall, if you get the low floor portion of Lane Kiffin, the fall is so small, it's not really going to hurt. You know what I mean? I mean, there's little kids when they fall, they don't really get hurt because it's a small fall. They might cry a minute, skin their knee. They're all right. Mommy gives it a kiss, and on you go. It's not like you're teetering on the top of the Empire State Building without a net where it's going to really hurt. No, I mean, it was a brilliant hire. I said, we both said this. It was the hire you should make. They made it. It's gone really well. He hadn't coached a game yet. Hadn't
even landed anybody yet,
hadn't
recruiting
landed
wise.
A recruit yet in terms of didn't have a signature yet. We'll get some on Wednesday. But I give it so far an A+.
Looks like he stabilized the guys he wanted to stabilize. There's been some attrition. Looks like Robbie Ashford headed to Oregon.
Yeah. Someone made the point on the message board. I said it was a really good point. Oregon sort of traded Matt Corral for Robbie Ashford.
Digging into the
I
Ole
know
Miss.
It wasn't exactly a trade. I get that. But you know what I mean. At the end of the day, that was essentially the transaction. Because I think that's where Matt was headed.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Lane has a certain quarterback he is pursuing at this point. A little more pass-centric.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Cade Renfro committed over the weekend. I think he's waiting to do some public announcement, which is fine. Whatever. Cool.
Let the kid have his moment, as we've heard once or twice.
Whatever. I mean, I've reported that he
what?
That he committed.
You didn't let him have his moment?
I didn't steal his moment. I didn't go.
Well, now you're talking about it here, Neil.
That's true.
Screwing up other people this morning. Now you're screwing up Cade Renfro.
It's a rampage.
It's just what you leave in your wake. That's what it is.
That's what happens when you're a rampager.
Days of Thunder, are you in?
Yeah.
You're in on Days of Thunder, too?
Yeah, that's good movie.
Tom Cruise getting in something with a motor. Neil's in. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Was it Nicole Kidman in that?
Yeah. That's where they met. Then they did Eyes Wide Shut. Weird movie.
Oh, that was a weird movie.
I think they were both in Far and Away, too.
Probably shouldn't talk about that movie today.
You don't think so?
No.
Is that not? That's not the one today?
No, probably not.
Okay.
We might be intersecting the wrong circles at that point.
Yeah, no. Days of Thunder is fine. I've seen Days of Thunder a whole lot of them.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Rowdy Burns wasn't that the other driver's name in that movie? Was it Rowdy Gaines?
Not Rowdy Gaines. He's the swimmer.
Rowdy Burns.
Maybe Burns.
I think it's Rowdy Burns.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's right.
Talladega Nights was on the other day, and that's one of those movies that damn thing, if it's on, you can't keep skipping. You go right to it. And
I don't stop on it.
Really?
Mm-mm. I don't stop on it.
I love it because every time I see something new, because it's just so
something new to laugh at every time.
It's just stupid. I love it.
I got all worked up by the I was watching last night, just kind of killing time. Jerry Maguire was on. We're apparently talking about Tom Cruise movies today. And I again got worked up by the lack of his ability to get from Arizona or back to Dorothy's house last night. That women's group would have had to been going at 4:30 in the morning for him to get back in time.
Yeah,
it drives me insane.
Would have been a really.
I don't know why
night.
It bothers me, but I started ranting about it again last night.
Because he stays after the game.
Well, yes, it's Monday Night Football, and at that time, Monday Night Football for us was at 8.
Yeah. No, they were out west.
So it would have been 7.
6 even.
But it's Phoenix. It's 1 year back. It's 1 hour back.
Oh, sorry. So 1 hour back.
It's 1 hour back.
1 hour. So 7 o'clock kick.
7 o'clock kick.
10:30.
10:30.
And then he waited for
after
him.
interviews and everything was over, and had the hug and the whole
realistically,
deal.
another 45 minutes.
So 11:15 at the earliest.
Yeah, we're being expeditious.
We're being kind.
Then he's got to get to the airport,
fly back to L.A.
Go through customs. Now he's going to get an hour back on the way to L.A.
He is.
But go to the airport, get
not customs, just security.
Not customs, security. 12:15 at the earliest, getting on the plane. So it's by the time you land, get in your car, and get to Dorothy's house.
Which, remember, it was out in Manhattan Beach. You had to take that left on whatever. She'd already explained earlier in the show that it's a little ways out. Because he offered her a ride from the airport
At that hour, a half hour from LAX.
Yeah, probably.
So he's 1 in the morning at the absolute earliest getting to the party.
I mean, I'm telling you, it would have had to have been 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to have a chance. And they're all awake. They're all hanging out there and just venting their feelings at that point.
They were a pretty worked up group, though. It is conceivable that they were still worked up at 1 in the morning. It's possible.
Well, I mean, one of them did say, hey, it's the best listening group ever or whatever. So, I mean, they were just...
But 1 in the morning is the absolute earliest. It's more likely that it was 2 in the morning. Which,
now, the kid wasn't awake or anything, so, okay.
I mean, it's possible, but it's a Monday morning. Did no one have work on Tuesday? Were they all taking the day off?
Or was it the holiday season? It was late in the year trying to make the playoffs. Was it over, over
true.
Christmas?
It could have. Okay. I'm beginning to think that you might be starting to owe Jerry Maguire and the makers of Jerry Maguire an apology.
Are you kidding? You think this was feasible? Somebody does point out security, nothing like it is now. You'd have gotten through the airport pretty quickly.
I don't find it likely.
It's like 96, I think, was the movie came out.
And a Phoenix to L.A. flight is up and down.
Yeah, just nothing.
Yeah. It's possible. He probably was parked close to the gate.
What makes you believe that?
Well, because he was an agent and stuff. He wasn't like parking in economy and taking the tram. He probably was parked pretty close. He probably checked his. He did not check his bag.
You think he even had a car? You think he took a cab to her house?
That's possible.
Just cabbed it both ways?
Possible. Would have been efficient. And if that's the case, he was out of the plane and into a cab pretty quickly.
Didn't have a bag. Wasn't waiting on bag check.
No, he didn't have to go to
he just went to the game.
Carousel 3 to wait for his bag to roll.
Might have had a briefcase with him and
like
check-in.
Maybe even had a little carry-on. But that's it. And he was full of adrenaline because he had just made his career.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
4 years, $11.2 million, as Firestone said later in the movie.
Yeah, well, at the time, it's a pretty big contract for a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. So,
someone points out that half of the year Phoenix is 2 hours behind.
Okay, but is it this time of year?
I don't know.
I mean, is it? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I still think it's a little bit of a it would have been. Why did it have to be Monday Night Football? Couldn't we just had a 3 o'clock game?
It would have been better off if they'd made it the 3:25 Fox game, because then it's 1:25 Phoenix time or 2:25 Phoenix time, and it's certainly conceivable that he's back in L.A. and at Dorothy's house.
Yeah, all's good, no problem. By 8, 9.
While the meeting's just getting started, quite frankly.
Yeah, they're still on the first glass of wine potentially at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just going to leave this one undetermined right now. That's how we're going to leave this one.
I mean, it's fine with me. It doesn't. You're the one that's on a rampage about it.
I know. I'm showing more emotion than you have today, even though you're killing careers and all sorts of stuff over there.
Yeah.
Keith's not the only Slim Reaper around this joint.
That was the interesting part, is the killing. I'm trying to destroy a career.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Is it?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know how I'd be. I just don't know how you get that far.
Okay. Who knows what we'll talk about in a minute, but we
Did you
will
like
get
Huey
there.
Lewis back in the day? Huey Lewis in the News?
Dude, you're a lot older than me.
They
I
had
mean,
some
I know them. They're fine. They're
some great
good.
songs.
But, I mean, it's kind of like some cats now with Top Gun. I mean, but, I mean, when were they the most popular?
80s?
Well, I was born in 83.
Early 80s, yeah.
I was born in 83.
Yeah.
So, no.
I remember listening when I was like 11, 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
Had some good songs.
Tyson Drugs and G&M Pharmacy. Flu vaccines available if you would like to do that before Christmas. $0 copay on most insurance plans. Don't have to wait in line for the overworked pharmacist or anything. And I will say G&M was very, very helpful to me over the weekend. So if you're looking for a pharmacy, give them a shot locally. They deliver local in the Oxford area and help you out a number of ways. 662-236-2222 is the phone number for them.
We're also brought to you by the College Corner Store. It's one-stop Christmas shop. Presents for guys, gals, and kids. Get 30% off by entering coupon code LANETRAIN at collegecornerstore.com. Recently, Dead Soxy sent Chase and I some stuff. Included in that stuff was a mesh bag.
Oh, yeah.
That bag is made to go in the wash and in the dryer. It's to keep you from losing socks and also keep the integrity of the sock design to last longer. Customers who spend $75 or more on orders this week at deadsoxy.com, that's DEADSOXY.com, will receive one of these bags free. There's a limited quantity that remains, so hop on that. Customers who purchase by 2 p.m. on Thursday are guaranteed they will receive their order in time for Christmas. The offer code is Rebel Grove, 30% off. That still applies. So there you go. The folks at Blue Delta have been giving you a Christmas countdown for a couple weeks now. And guys, the time is upon us. But do not worry. Blue Delta can help you solve your last-minute Christmas gift ideas. Call them, message them on social media, or visit their new website at bluedeltajeans.com to purchase a gift card. Give your loved ones the best-fitting pair of jeans they'll ever wear. Additionally, Oxford Exxon Podcast listeners with a pattern on file can get $100 off the online price and a free 2-week rush on their order using promo code PODCAST through the Blue Delta Jeans website. So go ahead, take advantage of this deal so you can walk into the new year in style. Chase and I were talking about Southern Craft Stove and Tap a little while ago. They sponsor our picks as well, as they do in addition to this here Potato Log podcast. And they have some amazing news to share. Just like the Rebels, they've got something shiny and new. It's the new restaurant in Tupelo. It opened on Wednesday, December the 11th. And you can go there and enjoy all your Southern favorites from their carefully crafted menu. Enjoy a curated cocktail or one of their many craft beers on tap. It's located in the new Bank Plus building at 205 East Troy Street. Come get in on the fun at Southern Craft Stove and Tap. And don't forget to join us on the 29th on their location in Oxford, Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue. That's Southern Craft Stove and Tap.
You upset about your Bears yesterday?
No. I mean,
lifelong fan.
I think it's become obvious that the Bears.
I mean, I know you're in an NFL game, so you don't really have time to follow it as much. But
I was at an NFL game because that's what I do. I go to a lot of NFL games, and I didn't have time. But what I saw is that it's just, I don't know. I got issues with Trubisky. The whole idea, just he's okay. I don't know that he's ever going to be a great NFL quarterback in a league where I think you have to have a great quarterback to win.
Yeah, a little cliche because it's true. Quarterback league.
Yeah. Happy for Eli Manning yesterday.
Finishes the year, if he's done, a 500 record. See that?
Yeah, and it's
incredibly misleading.
Some of that's really not fair because at the beginning
Jerry Reese did not exactly put him in favorable positions at different points.
Well, at the beginning of his career, the Giants were bad. At the end of his career, the Giants have been bad.
Yeah. No quarterback saving some of those Giants teams there at some points. I really needed you guys to do me a solid yesterday, though. Kind of needed a Packers loss. It's getting a little serious.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the team you ought to be a little worried about.
Who's that?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, you don't think I'm not worried about the Minnesota Vikings?
Woo.
Dylan was enjoying torturing me yesterday. He's like, so in the first round, what are you thinking? Rams, Seahawks, Vikings? What?
I want the Rams.
Well, yeah. Not going to get the Rams. They're out. They're not going to make the
I
playoffs.
would not want the Seahawks.
And you wouldn't want the
And
Vikings.
I would not want the Vikings. And hell, I wouldn't want the 49ers. The NFC playoffs.
So the Falcons beat the 49ers
Packers,
yesterday.
Yeah, I know. The Seahawks are.
I'm all up in my feelings. I don't know. I'm really confused on who I want. I need a bye to get a weekend of preparation to not have to deal with that first weekend, because whomever it is, that 3-6 game is scaring the hell out of me.
It should.
Whomever it is, I don't care. Whatever team gets put in that slot heads to New Orleans that day.
Unless it's Dallas, you're fine then.
They can't be. They're going to win the East. They're the 4.
That's true. They'll be the 4.
No, it's Vikings or Seahawks or 49ers most likely. Bills' first 10-win season in a long time, by the way, clinched a playoff spot yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. People waited outside in the cold and the snow to greet them at 2-something.
Did they really?
Yep.
They care about that team.
Sure.
There.
Of course. In many ways, those are the kind of markets that are the most fun.
It's in a way, it's still the market New Orleans is. New Orleans is in some huge town and some whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it's not Green Bay, but I mean,
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Actually, very similar to Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
That's probably a good comparison. Saints play the Colts tonight for Monday Night Football.
Yep.
That line was big. 9.5, something
points.
like that.
Yep.
You laid them.
I did.
I think I've had a really bad week.
I think we all have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I may have won one game.
I'm not sure. You
think.
won Army Navy. I lost
Oh, I did?
because I picked Army. No, you didn't.
I didn't. I
You
had
didn't.
Army covering.
You did.
Yeah, no, that is actually not true. I think I had the Packers yesterday, but otherwise, I'm really not sure that I've won a game.
I had the Packers yesterday too.
Did you?
Bears came close to covering that on that last play.
And would have had a chance, obviously.
Yeah.
Extend it as well at that point. But yeah, I'm just gonna actually pull that up 1 second, since we don't have a ton of news. It actually could be a really slow week. It could be kind of a frustrating week for a lot of people, because I don't know that we're gonna get a lot here.
From a recruiting standpoint,
Just in general, I think
the wide receiver from Illinois is going to make a decision today. Ole Miss people felt pretty positive about it.
whom is that?
Oh God, the name's escaping me right now. I'm sorry. It's in the notes. I'll have to go find it.
Do you expect any sort of surprise at all on Wednesday, or do you think everything's pretty cut and dry?
I mean, they got a real shot at Chris Morris, which would be at this point a surprise because I think he was headed to A&M for the longest time. After that, probably not. But we said all along, what was the goal? The goal was to hold the class together, make some decisions, and then they're going to hit it in January. I expect January to be kind of old school, silly football recruiting.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice. Hey,
Sure,
hey,
of course.
Hey. I mean, frankly, the early signing period's taking some fun out of some of this. Being so early, the way things change. People in December, because of holidays and everything else going on, they haven't quite shifted yet either for that. I mean,
Alante Brown is the wide receiver from Illinois, Ole Miss, Indiana, Nebraska, Michigan State, Maryland. He took a visit to Ole Miss. I think he was headed to Nebraska before. So if you made me guess, it's Nebraska or Ole Miss at this point. It kind of depends on what he wants to do. They're going to get Cade Renfro. We'll see about Morris. They're going to try to get Robert Scott to sign on Wednesday.
mm-hmm.
Eli Acker came out yesterday and said he's
good.
signing on Wednesday. So, yeah, I think most of the excitement, if you will, is going to be reserved for January and February. And if you think about it, if I'm right on those dates, and for some reason I think I am, January the 16th through February, whatever that will be pretty crazy.
Yeah, we need one of those years. Like I said, it is. It's gotten a little dull with so much early signing. I think the calendar was perfect for people spending the time and energy on recruiting kind of in that January period when all the hullabaloo, the holidays is kind of done and you're moving forward. So, yeah, that's go ahead and put it old school there. I don't mind that. That could be kind of fun. That loss yesterday for the 49ers, speaking up to the Falcons, that shifted them from the 1 to the 5 yesterday.
Yeah,
the way it works. Seahawks now in the 1, 11-3, tied with the Packers.
I saw that. Packers are solid.
Actually, though, wouldn't that be a really good news? I don't know how it works. What are the tiebreakers? Somebody help me out here. Is that good news for the Saints? Because since they beat the Seahawks, if they could tie them, they would get the tiebreaker? Or would a three-way tie still screw them up in that? You have any idea?
This is a Wendy's.
Can't go in detail on NFL tiebreakers.
No, sorry. I don't know what in the world made you think that I would be up to date on that.
Because the Seahawks have the tiebreaker over the Packers right now because of best win percentage in common games.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously, head-to-head would come in if it was just 2, but I don't know if it was 3. So
the Saints play the Packers?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, beat the Seahawks, didn't play the Packers. Yeah, I mean Dallas is 7-7. It's a 3-horse race at this point for those top 3 spots. Dallas is going to be the 4, and they're going to play either the San Francisco 49ers or the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
In the first round.
They're
home.
done.
Minnesota Vikings 10-4 would be the 6 right now. They have a 2-game lead on the Rams.
Oof.
So it's over. Those are your 6 playoff teams. Rams had to beat the Cowboys yesterday to stay in it and got popped.
They look tired.
Just don't look good.
That was on when we got to Blind Pig. That was on at the end.
The Bengals right now have a commanding lead in the Joe Burrow sweepstakes if they want it. They are 1-13 and have a 2-game advantage on the first pick.
Be fitting. Goes back to Ohio to play his professional football. We didn't talk about that at all.
Mm-mm.
Look, I'll admit it. I'm a Louisiana kid. I never grew up an LSU fan, but I've always been drawn to LSU stuff. If there's a game on, I watch it. Typically, I'm interested in them. You can't help but like Joe Burrow.
Oh, he's handled this perfectly.
I mean, that was a genuine speech. That was as cool of a 7-minute Heisman moment as I've ever seen. Clearly knew he was going to win. He had time to think about what he was going to say. But he still got really emotional. And, hey, kudos also. I mean, listen, if you don't think that's going to resonate on the recruiting trail for Ed Orgeron, you're kidding yourself.
No, it was an infomercial for Ed Orgeron.
There's the only person who benefited more than Joe Burrow on Saturday night was Ed Orgeron. Whose jaw had to get a little tight for him to hold it in.
44 people left Burrow off the ballot completely. Is that right?
I don't know how.
Because you have to be too cute.
Well, I mean,
it's let's be cute.
I had to think about who I was voting third for a while, and I ultimately decided on.
You picked on Fields.
Yeah, I thought about Jalen Hurts.
So I saw Andy Staple and some different people pick Derek Brown for their third spot.
And I thought about Derek Brown because he may have been one of the 2 or 3 best players that I saw all year.
Saw some dude dropped Burrow down because of because he transferred or something. Like, my God, like there was some. When you have that many votes, you got some weird cats with some votes to do some weird stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
It was also an infomercial for the transfer portal. 3 of the 4 dudes.
Didn't think about
transfer portal guys.
So the transfer portal didn't really do anything at all as far as changing the rules per se, but it made it so much more acceptable. There's no more stigma. It's just, hey, this is part of the game now.
Sure.
Which is obviously increasing transfers because not everybody wants to get labeled a certain way, giving up on your team and all that kind of stuff.
Most of the time, you still have to sit a year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't change rules.
Right.
It just opened it up and made it cleaner and made it more acceptable. That's what it did. Heisman voting, if you're curious, Burrow set the record for biggest differential, first place or whatever, breaking O.J. Simpson's record for that. He had got 2,608 total points. Second place, 762 with Jalen Hurts. Chase Young, 747, although Chase Young actually got the he had the third most first place votes. I thought he had more first place votes than him. I was wrong. Then Justin Fields, 4th in it there. And then let's see.
Pretty big fall off after 4th, I think.
Yes. 2608 won it, 762, 747, 643, 1 through 4.
And then after that, it was like 200 something was the next total.
Burrow got 841 first place votes, 41 second place votes, and 3 third place votes.
He had an amazing season.
And then was left off some ballots.
He's had an amazing season.
Chase Young got the most second place votes. Sorry, that's what I was focused on earlier that I had not seen.
I had Young second. He had a great season. Had Burrow not had just an incredible season, this was the year Chase Young would have had a real shot as the defensive player. I just thought the way that he thanked Ohio State as well. I just thought it was whoever, and I'm guessing based on what I hear about him from LSU people, is that it was him. He didn't have to have any help. Really smart.
What would you make of this? I saw somebody said the SEC now has like 6 of the last 14 Heisman winners or something like that. Whatever the number is, 13, 14, don't quote me.
Okay.
After having 6 maybe previously or in the last 50 years or something before that. Why? Why do you think there's been an uptick on SEC Heisman winners?
CBS.
Oh.
The fact that every game's on television, you can't miss it.
The fact that they've slowly become more of an offensive league and everybody loves quarterbacks.
Some of that. Gotten great quarterback play. It's an explosive league. The NFL presence of the league. The Alabama domination of the last 12 years has made the league must-watch television. Frankly, Alabama's domination has forced teams to become better in this league, or else if you're not good in this league, you get embarrassed right now, as we've seen. You don't just get beat, you get humiliated. It's been really, Tua was the preseason guy, finished 10th? I know he got hurt and all that, but I'd talk about him coming back.
There's talk about all those Bama guys coming back. I'm having a hard time buying that.
I'm curious to see what Tua does. Does he ultimately make that decision or not? It would be a financial decision, and he's admitted it by saying, hey, if I'm going to fall to the second or third round, I'm better off going back and proving that I can play again.
What's your gut tell you? Back or not?
Just kind of based on what I'm hearing, I think he's back.
Do you really? All of it's injury related with those guys? All the Bama guys? It's all injury related, right?
I think so, yeah.
That was kind of what I thought.
What kind of an NFL quarterback do you think Joe Burrow is going to be?
Oh, I think his floor is decently high where I'd feel
too.
okay.
I do
yeah,
too.
I do. I thought about that, and I don't think he's a huge bust. I just don't. I feel like you're at least competitive with him.
He's able to extend plays with his feet and his athleticism.
I don't know who his comp is. I don't really want to do that, but
the knock on him, and it's going to come out, is that he doesn't have a cannon of an arm. And I don't know in that league right now that is an absolute requirement. He's got plenty of arm.
There are those intermediate throws you have to make with zip.
And he does.
You got to go down the seam. You got to do all that kind of stuff.
He doesn't have a Brett Favre arm. But in fairness, who does?
Yeah, not many. And some of the ones who didn't.
Well, I'm trying to think like in the current NFL, the NFL playoff quarterbacks, who's he comparable to? Some ways he reminds me of an Aaron Rodgers.
Can improvise a little bit.
Can extend plays. I think he's more athletic than Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't hate that. It's okay.
I mean, he's got your prototypical size.
I mean, I think his absolute floor, if you said, hey, Joe Burrow played in the NFL but didn't pan out, it ends up looking like a Ryan Tannehill maybe.
Here's a good example.
Something
Georgia
like that.
Rebel says Phillip Rivers. There's some similarities. Big body, competitive, smart.
He does kind of move like Roethlisberger. I know Ben's a big guy, but
yeah, now Roethlisberger has a big arm.
Yeah. He's more mobile outside the pocket than Breeze, and he's gonna have to show me a lot to move inside the pocket like Breeze moves.
Yeah.
Because Breeze is the best quarterback in the world and moving inside the pocket.
Yeah, I don't like doing. It's like now the comparison that people make every time a quarterback can move as well as Lamar Jackson. Well, no, but I mean that's not.
Well, it's
fair.
kind of the point because hey, they're revolutionizing. It's like no, there's one dude that is doing that. Now, if we have 15 of him, great, but that doesn't exist right now.
It's one of the things. If people say, "What would you talk to Lane Kiffin about?" If you could talk to Lane Kiffin, we would start there. I would not go into all the Alabama stuff and all that. I would say, "What do you think when you watch Lamar Jackson? Do you think, hey, I can go recruit that guy?" Or do you think that guy is such a unicorn that I've got to ignore that? I would love to have that football conversation with somebody who knows 8 million times more football than I do, where I would say, okay, here's the tee. I'm going to put this ball here. Swing. I'm curious to go from that. That might be how I would start an interview with Lane Kiffin today. What do you think of Lamar Jackson? What do you think when you watch Lamar Jackson, when you try to think about how you would extrapolate that into what you do offensively? Do you have to just ignore it, or is that something? Because I know he has talked about the pressure that a running quarterback puts on a defense late in games.
Right.
The problem with that is that he's also talked to people have said, "Oh, that's an endorsement for Plumlee." I don't think he's far enough down the road to do that. I think what he's trying to say, what he is saying is that you have to be able to throw the football as well. You have to be able to throw it first. But if you have a quarterback who can move, especially late in games when defenses are tired a little bit, it's one hell of a weapon. And we saw that with Plumlee. Plumlee far more effective as a runner late in games than he is early in games.
Several people saying that Garoppolo is a good comparison. I haven't seen enough of him, to be honest. I saw plenty the other day, but
it's not bad. I actually think Burrow has a little higher ceiling than Garoppolo.
Yeah, it feels like it. Now, maybe I'm being a little bullish on Garoppolo in a negative way. I mean, he's had a good year.
Oh, he's had a really good year. I mean, Burrow doesn't have a bad arm. Let's not act like he's a noodle arm out there. He can make throws.
No, he's not. He
just doesn't have that NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But, listen, the best arm that I've ever seen in person, ever,
Jamarcus Russell.
is Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
And I've seen Brett Favre in person. And Jamarcus didn't pan out. There's more to being an NFL quarterback than – I mean, the best arm maybe in the history of the NFL is Jeff George. I mean, that dude could sling it. I mean, you talk RPMs now. Remember him?
Yeah.
Jeff George could spin it. Big time.
Didn't always pan out for him, however.
Didn't always work out, yeah. But his fastball was, woo.
Yeah. Take one last break and tell you about Mastercut's Lawn and Landscape Room, lawn care throughout northern Mississippi, but a lot more. Also, including custom playgrounds, retaining walls, pool decks, outdoor living spaces of any kind with paver patios, starting pretty cheaply, and forestry mulching as well. That's gomastercuts.com for a free quote, or you can give them a call for that same free quote at 662-607-7773.
We're also brought to you by Nest and Wild. Nest and Wild mattresses. You can sleep better in a Nest and Wild. It's a Mississippi-based mattress company making a high-quality mattress delivered right to your door. They make buying a new mattress easy. Every Nest and Wild mattress is 1 foot thick, giving you comfort and support that will last. A lot of online brands sell an 8-inch or 10-inch mattress with less support and durability. But from the twin size to the California King, every Nest and Wild mattress is a foot thick. They're 100% American-made. Pricing's competitive when compared to the rest of the mattress companies in their tier. And with the podcast discount, well, it's just an awesome value for the customer. You can also fight cancer in your sleep with Nest and Wild. They've partnered with former Major League pitcher Jason Mott's foundation in his fight against cancer. Nest and Wild donates a portion of every mattress sold back to Jason's charity. It's a no-risk decision. Nest and Wild believes in their product so much they're offering a 99-night trial on every mattress. So try it out. Sleep on it for 99 nights. And if you don't like it, you can return it. Nestandwild.com. Order your mattress. Use the podcast code REBEL20 and get 20% off your purchase. Your mattress will arrive at your door in 3 to 5 days. We're also brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states, advisors in multiple states as well. Pinnacle Trust provides detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle Trust will sit down with you, Listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. Pintrust.com, P-I-N-N Trust.com. Mention you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast. You get 10% off your first year's fee. We're also brought to you by the Westin Jackson. We'll be there on Friday night. Hopefully you will join us there. You can come early and go visit Soul Spa, get all relaxed with the ultimate luxury spa experience in downtown Jackson. And then you can gather at Estelle Wine Bar and Bistro, have yourself a creative craft cocktail, order off their curated wine list. It's great. You should gather at Estelle with us at the Westin Jackson. We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. You guys know how this works by now. A lot of you have asked about it. I really appreciate it. It's the email that I get about every 2 days. Hey, Neil, what's the name of the travel agent that you guys advertise on the podcast? His name is John Edwards. His phone number is 901-494-3387. His email is jedwards@regencytravel.net. Send him some parameters. Give him a budget. Let him know what you want to do. And he'll come up with options that you won't find on your own. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. Save $50 off the first book trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. We're also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, that's the place to go. It's located just off Interstate 55 in Grenada, Mississippi. Grenada Nissan has a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles. Great lease deals as well. It's Grenada Nissan USA.com. And we're also brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all with the personal touch. And when you call OUB, you speak directly with a live person. No 10 buttons to push, no 5-minute wait. What you get is Kasasa. It's the absolute best cash checking account. And with Kasasa, OUB will pay customers 2.5% interest on their balances up to $50,000, refund ATM fees nationwide, and OUB lets you enjoy online bill pay and mobile check deposit using its online app. To learn more, go to liveoxford, bankoxford.com, or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured.
We'll get done on Friday night just in time for Neil maybe to get a bite to eat and go settle in. His bowl season getting underway that day, December 20th. Oh, yeah, you know.
Wow.
Get 2 bowl games on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
So around 7:30, Neil's going to be going, hey, I just got to go see Utah State and Kent State. We got to find a TV for that.
Ooh, that's a big game.
Fighting John Hartwells against, Kent State. I don't know, somebody.
The Flashes.
Used to be Woody Barrett. Is he still there? Is Woody still there? Is he still the quarterback?
I don't know.
You don't know if Woody's still at Kent State?
I don't.
Buffalo and Charlotte kicking off the bowl season. Will Healy and Charlotte and Buffalo and the Bahamas. As
Well,
you saw from the.
If you're going to go play in a bowl game, that'd be a good place to go play one.
And on December 20th. Done.
Come home.
Get the whole holiday season.
It's actually not terrible.
If you're gonna get a low rent bowl game, that's the one you want. December 20th at 2:00 in Nassau.
The worst is Independence
Shreveport.
Bowl, where you're having to spend Christmas Day in Shreveport doing a walkthrough at Independence Stadium, where there's a decent chance it's going to be cold.
There are 2 games on the 26th. Independence Bowl at 4 p.m. and the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit at 8 p.m.
Yuck. Who plays? It's Louisiana Tech and who?
Miami, Ohio. No. I don't know. It just says Miami. Maybe it is Florida.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Louisiana Tech,
those
Miami.
kids are thrilled.
You could be in Hawaii on Christmas Eve for their bowl game.
It's not terrible.
The SoFi Hawaii Bowl, Hawaii and BYU in Honolulu.
Yes, okay.
If you're Hawaii, you don't just get tired of going to the Hawaii Bowl every year.
At least you're home for Christmas.
Yeah. Like, you think those kids would be like, hey, no, send us to Shreveport.
No.
You don't think so?
No. And I'm a North Louisiana boy, so don't come at me. But no.
Impressions. Obviously, Tyree was really good. Basketball yesterday. Saturday.
Yeah, Brian was terrific. I wrote this in 10 Thoughts. I actually think that they're solving some of their offensive problems. The ball's moving better. Guys are getting better shots. Shots are starting to fall. Guys are starting to understand their roles. They're getting better. I mean, look, not to sound like an ass kisser here, Kermit Davis is really good. He's been really good for a long time. His teams, really without fail, improve over the course of a season. And this one will too. And it is improving. In fact, I think the improvement is happening. You can really see it. Frankly, he's gone back and mentioned this a couple of times, and he's right. Go back. If you get bored, go back and find Ole Miss Butler and watch the game. Take your emotion out of it. Shots just didn't fall, but they got good looks. Then go back earlier in the year, watch the Oklahoma State game. Watch a stretch of the Memphis game where not only did shots not fall, they got bad shots. They took bad shots. Against Butler, they took pretty good shots. Just like Devontae that day, I don't know that, like if he was playing the Bozo the Clown Grand Prize game,
couldn't throw it though.
He would have missed bucket number 1. Just couldn't get it there. But now he's starting to make some buckets.
Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to get so
WGN back in the day
pissed
for years
off
and
when
years
the
and
kid
years.
missed bucket number 2. It's like, how do you come on?
You got to stand behind the line, but you can lean over the line,
Yeah,
can't
because
you?
you drop it in 1, and Bozo would come out and give you a prize. And then drama kicked in about bucket number 4. But inevitably, some 4-year-old would get up there and miss bucket number 1. And,
And you're pissed.
Why are we wasting our time with this?
It's not entertaining.
No, I want to see somebody go for the.
Oh, so you didn't cheer against them?
No, I cheered for him.
Oh,
Because if you got a $100 bill and a bike,
that's what it was.
$100 bill and a bike, that's a big day.
What was Bozo's sidekick's name?
A cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of remember this.
that's a good show.
Was it?
Yeah, Bozo.
I'm pretty sure it came on WGN.
It is WGN.
Was
show.
it based out of Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Chicago thing?
Yep.
Okay. 82-64 Rebels over the Blue Raiders. We had a little side
Did a lot of good things.
there.
My boy Austin Crowley had a career high.
11 points.
Yeah. KJ had 11. Got a late technical that thoroughly pissed off Kermit.
Henson with 11. Schuler with 10. Tyree with a 34 as mentioned.
Yeah.
Buppin only 2.
Yeah, he didn't, but he got a bunch of rebounds.
8.
Hadeem C had a good game.
10 points.
Needs
7
to.
boards.
Kermit was very clear. He goes, those 10 and 7 have to become 17 and 11. You got to take that jump.
14 turnovers for the Rebels as a team.
Yeah, a little much, but they're okay. What were there? How many assists?
23.
How many made field goals?
28.
Yeah, solid.
It's pretty good.
Offensively, the numbers are good.
What number you want there? What kind of ratio?
Well, you want as close to 1-to-1 as you can get, but I mean it's not realistic. But that's a really good number.
I mean, it's like 70% good. I mean, like what?
Yeah, so 70-75%.
Okay. Yeah, middle falling to 4-7 on the season, 1-3.
They played
away.
really hard. They came out in the second half and played really hard, to their credit.
Missed opportunity for the SEC yesterday. Tennessee letting one slip away to Memphis yesterday in Knoxville. Saturday, sorry. I keep saying yesterday. Yeah.
Yep.
Alabama loses to Penn State late after having a lead at the half. I did see that as well. So another good win for Penn State a little bit.
Here's the thing for Ole Miss, okay? People talk about tournament. They have no bad losses. They have one really good win. Penn State's a really good win. They get another opportunity January the 4th at Wichita to get a really good win.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at some point, you got to cash in opportunities. But there's nothing on their resume right now to hurt them. And in league play, the league's gotten softer than we thought. There are potholes in the league.
Mm-hmm.
We thought the league would be this perfectly paved road. Nope. It's going to have potholes. They're going to
couple spots you got to avoid there.
Going to have to shoot. Going to have to.
A&M's bad. There's a few.
Yeah, got to win that one.
Vanderbilt got beat by Liberty yesterday at home. Liberty's pretty good, 12-0, but
is that girls basketball? I'm kidding.
All the sports rolling at Liberty right now. Arkansas beat the crap out of Tulsa. Arkansas 9-1, by the way.
Yeah, their one loss was at Western Kentucky in a really close game.
Georgia got popped by Arizona State yesterday in Tempe.
Yeah.
Which Arizona State 9-2, they're pretty good. Liberty 61, Vanderbilt 56 yesterday. I don't think Vanderbilt's particularly good.
I watched Wichita and Oklahoma some Saturday afternoon.
State did get a win over Kansas State yesterday. The Wildcats now 6-4 out of the Big 12. State 7-2.
State's solid.
Auburn held on against St. Louis yesterday. Looks like it was in Auburn. And then Kentucky beat Georgia Tech The Wildcats 8-1, 7-1. The one lost to Evansville.
They're going to be all right.
Yeah, yeah. And Georgia Tech 4-4 out of the SEC. So
yeah,
there's
Kentucky's going to be okay. Breaking.
So Ole Miss gets a couple gimmies, and then we see what happens. You get Wichita after that. You get Tennessee Tech. You get Southeastern Louisiana. Other way
get those
around.
two, and then you get go to Wichita, and big time opportunity that day. I mean, that's what it is. Get that W, and man, you go from where they are today to people putting you back on the bubble, maybe even inside the bubble.
Tennessee's at Cincinnati on Wednesday. Just kind of looking around a little bit. Actually, kind of entertaining game here potentially. 10 o'clock out in Vegas on Wednesday night. Utah and Kentucky.
Ooh,
pretty good game there.
Yeah,
between the Utes and the Wildcats.
I don't know that I'll be up for that. But
wasn't Utah in that tournament when Ole Miss was out there a couple years ago? It's like Utah has been in this thing in Vegas a few times.
Utah beat Ole Miss out there.
Yeah,
if I recall.
I think you are right there. So anyway, play more basketball tomorrow, and whatever pops, I'll be in a decent mood. Or the Saints will have lost to the Colts at home tonight on Monday Night Football, and going to get ready for that 3-6 game, which will happen at that point.
At that point, you might as well go ahead and make your reservations.
Yeah, should that first playoff weekend will have a Saints game in it if that is the case. So appreciate all you guys for hanging around with us for a while today. We'll be back tomorrow, and check Rebel Grove. Got rebelgrove.com in the meantime. Talk to you then.